What's going on, players, haters, mama makers, big pimpins, little pimpins? It's your favorite or least favorite duelist back with another video. Make sure to slap that like button and the subscribe button for more content. Give it a nice little pimp slap. Today we're going to go into the new box. We're just going to read off some stuff, see what's in there, open up some packs, have a good time. I got like 700 gems. So let's just get into this, all right? So we're going to start off. Usually, I think the last time I did a box review, I started from the bottom up. So we could do that again, or maybe start from the top down. But we'll save the best for last. How about that? No. Let's start from the top. Let's see what we got. What we got to deal with today. Okay. So yeah, some exciting news. I'm going to be doing a podcast pretty soon with a good friend of mine, and just be on the lookout for that. We're going to be talking about things outside of Duel Links, you know, a little bit of info on my own personal life. I kind of wanted to just do like a podcast about regular everyday things, including video games. So yeah, we're going to have my friend Mondo do some content with me, and I was thinking of just having some gameplay in the background for now until things start getting spicy. Okay, so let's just get into this box opening until then. So the new box, it's a main box, a big boy box. It's called Aerial Assault. As you can see, it has Mr. Blackwing right here, Zephyros the Elite. So he is a dark level 4, 1600 attack, 1000 defense, and he's a winged beast. And it says, if this card is in your graveyard, you can return one face-up card you control to the hand, special summon this card, and if you do, take 400 damage. And you can only use his effect once per duel. So I think this card is this is a pretty nice card. This is really good for synchro summoning, for tributing. It's a good all-around card. Once we get into XC summoning, that'll be a nice thing too. I also think it's gonna be great for monarchs, which is we got a couple monarchs in this box as well. So awesome card. Definitely a 3 of, okay? Even though the effect only is once per duel, but you kind of want to open up with this for sure and dump it into the graveyard. And 1600 isn't really a bad thing either. It's a decent attack. So yeah, there you go. So then we got Briara K, the Dragon of the Ice Barrier. It's a level 6 Synchro Sea Serpent with 2300 attack, 1400 defense. And it's a generic, so just any type of tuner and non-tuner. So you can discard any number of cards to the graveyard, then target the same number of cards your opponent controls, return them to the hand. You can only use this effect once per turn. So I think this card is really good as well. It's some cards do better in the graveyard than the hand, and this can return any cards, not just face up or face down. It's a really good card. Okay, we got Angel of Zera. This is a reprint, I believe. So it's a level 8 generic synchro. And it gains 100 attack for each of your opponent's banished cards. So maybe in a Metapist deck. And it says, if this card was banished, special summon this card on the next standby phase. So maybe a Metapist deck. It's a 23... I already said its stats, whatever. And it's a light fairy, I believe. Yeah. Okay, anyways, reprint. We got another, some Invoke support. So we got Invoked Purga Trio. There you go. So it's a fire, level 7, 2300 attack, 2000 defense fiend. And it requires Alistair and a fire monster. And it gains 200 attack for each card your opponent controls. It can attack all of your opponent's monsters once each, and it does piercing. So it's a pretty nice card. I think the other invoked cards might be a little bit better, but this is a good option against some fire decks. So we'll just have to see until then. So then we got Blackwing Gale the Whirlwind. It's a dark level 3, 1300 attack, 400 defense. This guy has a weird looking face. I don't know what's going on with the face. But he's a tuner winged beast, and it says if you can control a Blackwing monster other than Blackwing Gale the Whirlwind, you can special summon this card from your hand. And once per turn, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls. That target's attack and defense becomes half. Pretty good card. So you can set up like a synchro play with this, a big boy synchro, and then beat over it by cutting their attack in half. Nice card. Oops. So then we got Blackwing Simone, the Poison Wind. I was trying to do Simo, but whatever. It's a dark level 6, 1600 2k D. If you control no monsters and have this card in your hand, banish one other Blackwing monster from your hand. Place one Black Whirlwind from your deck face up in your spell and trap zone. Then either send this card to the graveyard or immediately after this effect resolves, normal summon it without tributing. And you cannot normal summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the turn except dark monsters. You can only use this effect once per turn. And let's see. During the end phase, send Black Whirlwind placed by this effect to the graveyard and take 1000 damage. So we'll have to find what Black Whirlwind is. So right now, I'm not familiar with the Blackwings. I'm only familiar with the Darkwings, like the Dark Knight. But it seems like there's a lot of damage that you take when you use these effects. So it's kind of maybe like a glass cannon type of deal. Alright, we got Jet Synchron. So it's a level 1 fire, 500 attack, machine tuner. And it says, if this card is sent to the graveyard as a synchro material, you can add one junk monster from your deck to your hand. If this card is in your graveyard, you can send one card from your hand to the graveyard, special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. You can only use one Jet Synchron effect per turn and only once that turn. So, I like this card. It allows you to synchro summon climb. It also has some tutoring. So it's a good card. Like in a Synchron deck, this is probably definitely a 3 of, for sure. You can synchro into like some disruption monster and then synchro again into another monster to just like, so you can synchro into one monster to clear the back row potentially, and then synchro summon again and just end the game. Good card. And then we also have Inzectors in this deck. So we got Hornet, level 3 dark, 500 attack, 200 defense. And it says, once per turn you can equip one Inzector monster from your hand or graveyard to this card. While this card is equipped to a monster, that monster's level is increased by 3. Also, it gains attack and defense equal to this card's attack and defense. Oops. So when it's equipped, you can send this equipped card to the graveyard to target one card in the field and destroy it. I think it's an excellent card as well. I don't play a lot of Inzectors, but I know like they like crap like this. So if you're bugging out on this, you're bugging out on good reason. And then we got my personal favorite. I never played Monarchs, but they look super cool because I like to tribute summon a lot. So this is a Land Robe, the Rock Vassal. Earth level 4, 800 attack, 1k defense. And it says if this card is in your hand, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls. You cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the turn. Also special summon this card. And if you do, change that monster to face down to defense position. If this card is tributed for a tribute summon, you can target one monster with 800 attack and 1000 defense in your graveyard, except this card, and add it to your hand. And you can only use one of these per turn. So another addition to Monarchs, so that's going to be fun. We're missing, I think, like the big mean fairy and I think the field spell. They have a field spell or something. So another good card here. Even if it's not specifically for, well, we can't use it for synchros because we can't use it in extra deck. But special summoning's cool. You can, I'm pretty sure you can see this in like, maybe like using Destiny Hero Plasma. You just need one more monster. You know, getting out your Jinzo. And definitely for Monarchs. Great card again. Then we got Dark End Dragon. So it's a level 8 Dark Dragon. 2600 attack, 2100 defense. So it needs one tuner and one non-tuner dark monster. And it says once per turn you can target one monster your opponent controls This card loses 500 attack and defense, and you send that target to the graveyard. So this is kind of like Dark Lord Desire. So it just sends it to the graveyard, so anything that triggers by being destroyed doesn't work. So I think it's a pretty good like generic synchro. The only issue is you're gonna be at 2100 attack after you use this effect, so you'll be pretty weak to certain monsters. And it targets. Oh, we got a traffic alert. Whatever. Get that out of there. So yeah. Okay. Next card, and then we got Erebus, the Underworld Monarch. I really like the artwork on this card. This card looks like something out of World of Warcraft. It looks super neat, or maybe even Diablo. So he is a level 8 dark zombie, 2800 attack, 1000 defense. You contribute summon this card by attributing 1 tribute summon monster. If this card is tribute summoned, you can send 2 Monarch spell or trap cards with different names from your hand or deck to the graveyard, and if you do, shuffle 1 card from your opponent's hand at random, graveyard, or on their side of the field into the deck. Once per turn, during either player's main phase, if this card is in your graveyard, you can discard 1 Monarch spell or trap card, then target 1 monster in your graveyard with 2400 or more attack and 1000 defense and add it to your hand. I think this is a great all-around card right here for Monarchs. I'm definitely going to be playing Monarchs now. The only issue with Monarchs is that all their like ultra rares are spread through like different boxes. It's not all in one. So the deck is very expensive, extremely expensive. And I would suggest, if you are going to build this deck and you don't have all the Monarchs, to maybe save your dream tickets to get the rest of the Monarchs for this deck. So and then we got Eidos, the Underworld Squire. So this is so the thing about Monarchs is they have like they have the Monarch, and then they have like a Super Monarch, which is like a big thick like 2800 attack, like this guy right here. And then they also have Squires and Vassals. So they're the little guys that kind of special summon to help you tribute summon. So anyways, he's a dark level 2, 800 attack, 1000 defense. If he is a normal or special summon during your main phase this turn, you can tribute summon 1 monster in addition to your normal summon set. You can only gain this effect once per turn. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 800 attack and 1000 defense in your graveyard, except this card, and special summon in defense position. And you cannot special summon extra deck monsters. Okay, and you can only use this effect once per turn. So when you play Monarchs, you're not going to be using an extra deck most likely. Okay, thing is you're just tributing and just blowing up stuff and just wrecking face. So we got we got some Battery Men support as well. So it's a light level. We got Battery Men 9V. Who even uses those anymore? I used to lick those 9V batteries as a kid and like shock myself. Hilarious. He should have an electric tongue. That would be hilarious, because I know I'm not the only kid who has done that. So anyways, he's a light level 4, 1000 attack and defense, Thunder. If this card is summoned, you can add 1 battery monster man from your deck to your hand, and if you do, this card's attack and defense become double. You can only use this effect once per turn, and at the end phase, destroy this card. I think this card's pretty good. So just on the fact that he can grab you anything, he's a searcher. So good card. Eccentric Boy. The thing about him, he's a level 3. And what I know about this is also a reprint. So you can synchro with your hand while he's on the field, but the synchro monster is negated. Okay. And let's see. Yeah, and it's removed from play when it's removed from the field. So it's like for a quick like link climbing, I would say. Not link climbing, but like synchro climbing. And he looks like Goku. We got Spore, another reprint. So what he does, it's a level 1 plant tuner. And when he's in your graveyard, you can banish 1 plant monster from your graveyard, special summon him, and he gains that level. So let's say you banish a level 4. While this is in your graveyard, the Spore comes out as a level 5. And the Spore can only be used once per duel. So pretty nice. We're getting more Spores. We got Lightpulsar Dragon. Level 6 Light Dragon. 2500 attack, 1500 defense. You can special summon this card by banishing 1 light and 1 dark monster from your graveyard. You can special summon this card from the graveyard by sending 1 light and 1 dark monster from your hand to the graveyard. When this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can target 1 level 5 or higher dark dragon monster in your graveyard and special summon it. So this could probably be pretty decent in for a dark dragon. I immediately think of Red Eyes, so maybe some Red Eyes stuff. I think the dragon of like magic is a light monster, so maybe there's that. So yeah, we'll have to see with that. I think it's a pretty good card. Special summoning. It has some floating effects. So yeah, definitely, there's a lot of good cards in this thing. So then we got Invokedurga Axe, Zekta Hawk. So it's an equip spell, and you can only equip it to an Invokedurga monster. It gains 1,000 attack, and when it declares an attack, your opponent cannot activate spell or trap cards. So it's kind of like, I believe, Ancient Gear Wyvern is the one that does that. So yeah. We've got Swallow's Nest. It's a quick play. Tribute 1 face-up winged beast type monster. Special summon 1 winged beast type monster from your deck with the same level as a attributed monster on the field. So I think this might potentially work like World Legacy Clash, the first half of it, because you're attributing as a cost, I believe. So I'll have to do some testing if I pull that card. But I think it's a pretty good card. Another good card, you know, to fix your deck. And we got Blackbird Close. It's a counter trap. When a monster your opponent controls activates its effect, you can spend 1 face-up Blackwing monster you control to the graveyard and negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. Then you can special summon 1 Blackwing Dragon from your extra deck. If you control a Blackwing Synchron monster or Blackwing Dragon, you can activate this card from your hand. So this card seems super broken. Definitely. So I'm guessing the Blackwings are going to be very powerful against, I would say, 6 Samurai, because this is definitely like Goodbye Onishi, and then also Shien. So Shien negates something, you just pop this bad boy and ruin their day. We got the Transmigration Prophecy. It's a trap card. Target 2 cards in the graveyard. Shuffle those targets into the decks. This card probably won't see play. It's very specific. The only thing that it'd be very good against is like Dark Lords or Blue Eyes, to shuffle the white stone thingies back into the deck before they pop off. You can also shuffle in like a Blue Eyes in their graveyard to prevent them from using Silver's Cry. So there's very specific countering for this card, but definitely it's good against Dark Lords. It could be decent against 6 Samurai as well. So let's say you have like on the same chain, you'd have to activate Treacherous Trap Hole, I believe, and then if they try to like banish one of their 6 Samurai in the graveyard to protect, you just shuffle it instead. I think that'll work. Oh, where are we? Oopsies. So we're on the rares. Just blowing through this stuff. We have Blackwing Tamer, Obsidian Hawke Joe. He kind of looks like, if you ever seen District 9, like the doctor who gets infected. His hand. So he's a dark level 7, 2600 attack, 2000 defense. He needs a Blackwing tuner and 1 or more non-tuner Blackwings. You could target 1 level 5 or higher winged beast type monster in your graveyard. Special summon it during either player's turn when your opponent activates a card or effect that would target only this card, or when your opponent targets this card for an attack, you can target 1 other Blackwing monster you control that would be an appropriate target, and then it hits the other target. And you can only use this effect once per turn. So, this card is pretty good against stuff like Canadia, Dimensional Prison, what else comes to mind? Enemy Controller. I think it's a pretty decent card. I think there's this thing, I think it's called Dupe Frog that does something like that, I think. I'm not sure. So we got Assault Blackwing, Rakiri, the Rain Shower. I don't see any rains or showers in here. It's like he looked like he ate too many Popeye's chicken sandwiches. So he's a dark level 7, 2600 attack, 2k defense, generic synchro. If this card is synchro summoned using a Blackwing monster, it is treated as a tuner while on the field. Once per turn, you can target cards your opponent controls up to the number of other Blackwing monsters you control. Destroy them. So this can destroy up to 2 cards because it says other Blackwings. And he kind of allows for like synchro climbing as well. So maybe we're going to start seeing a lot of Star Eaters with the Blackwing deck. So then we got Assault Blackwing Chidori, the Rain Sprinkling. He's a dark level 7, 2600 attack, 2k defense, generic synchro. So the same thing, if you're using a Blackwing as a material, it's treated as a tuner. This card gains 300 attack for each Blackwing monster in your graveyard. Oh, damn. So you could get big. When this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can target one wing beast type synchro monster in your graveyard, except this one, and special summon it. This card's pretty damn good. So it floats, it gets huge, it helps you synchro climb, and yeah, what else can you say? The only thing it would probably need is piercing. So I think this is another good card. Maybe I'll try to get some Blackwings going. I haven't even used that weird like 5Ds character. I'll have to check him out. This guy looks super neat. He's a freaking lightning katana. So this is Assault Blackwing Onimaru, the Divine Thunder. It's a dark, like what, level 12? And it's a generic synchro with 3000 attack, 2k defense. Same thing, if you're using a Blackwing monster as material, it becomes a tuner, which is kind of redundant because you're already maxed out on levels. So this card cannot be destroyed by card effects. You can target one Blackwing monster in your graveyard. This card's level becomes the same. Oh, it becomes the same as that monsters. You can only use this effect once per duel. If this card was synchro summoned using only synchro monsters attacks. Synchro monsters attacks. Oh. So if this card was synchro summoned using only synchro monsters, if it attacks, it gains 3000 attack during the damage step. So if you're synchro climbing into this, you get to be a big old 6k boy. And it can't be destroyed by card effects. So this thing is pretty deadly. I would say it's we're gonna try to maybe make a turbo with that guy. So we got Drill Warrior. It needs Drill Synchron and a non-tuner. So it's a level 6 Earth, 2400 attack, 2k defense. Once per turn during your main phase 1, which we only have main phase 1, you can have this card's attack, and if you do, it can attack your opponent directly this turn. Once per turn, you can discard one card, and if you do, banish this card. During the next standby phase, special summon this card banished by this effect, and then add one monster from your graveyard to your hand. So I'm guessing this is on either turn. So this guy's super slippery if that's the case. And then, funny enough, I could see this in a Dino deck. I don't know. Anytime I see like banishing cards, I always think of Dino decks. So yeah, I actually like this card. We'll have to see what Drill Synchron does. Alright, we got Jet Warrior. So it's a level 5 fire, 2100 attack, 1200 defense. It needs Jet Synchron and a non-tuner. If this card is synchro summoned, you can target one card your opponent controls, return it to the hand. If this card is in your graveyard, you contribute one level 2 or lower monster. Special summon this card in defense position, but banish it when it leaves the field. And you can only use each effect once per turn. So, this one could potentially help with synchro climbing as well. We'll have this. I like this card. It's like a decent card. It's not super overpowered. It's not crappy. It's a decent card. If I was to rate it, 3 out of 5. We got Blackwing Sicario, the Dawn. I was going to say Sicario, but, you know, whatever. So it's a level 5 dark. 2000 attack, 900 defense. If this card... if your opponent controls a monster and you control no monsters, Normal summon this card without tributing once per turn. You can target one Blackwing monster you control until the end of the turn. It gains attack equal to the total attack of all Blackwing monsters you currently on the field except itself. Monsters other than the targeted monster cannot attack during the turn you activate this effect. So, I kind of... Let's see. Maybe if there's a Blackwing card that attacks directly, this might be pretty good. Potentially. I would think you can make something really big, because if you just have another Blackwing plus this card, it gains 2,000 attack. That's not bad. And you get a special summon. So I think this is a... I want to say this is a reprint. But this is Blackwing Blizzard of the Far North. Dark level 2, tuner, 1300 attack. Cannot be a special summon. When this card is normal summoned, you can target one level 4 or lower Blackwing monster in graveyard. Special summon that target in defense position. So here's your way to start off your plays. Right here. So you can make a level 6, bada boom. And then do some special summoning, blah blah blah. Okay. Where did we lose our play? So right here. So yeah, I think it's another good card. There's a lot of good cards in here. I haven't found anything really bad yet. So this is Blackwing Value, the emblem of honor. This is a ninja chicken. So Popeyes got tired of getting bullied around, so they sent this guy out to assassinate Chick-fil-A. So it's a dark level 1, wing beast tuner, 800 attack. This face-up card on the field cannot be used as synchro material. If this card is in the graveyard, then you can target one non-tuner Blackwing monster in the graveyard. Banish both this card and the target, and if you do, special summon one Blackwing secret monster from your extra deck whose levels equal the total levels of the banished monsters, but the effects are negated. So another synchro climbing card. Yeah. The only downside is that it negates the synchro monster that you bring out. So you'll have to special summon. I would say you're probably going to have to dump this one and then use another tuner to synchro climb. A lot of synchro climbing with these Blackwings. So we got Blackwing Chris, the Crack of Dawn. I don't know what's going on here. What is up with this artwork? Dark level 4, 1900 attack, 300 defense. If you control a Blackwing monster other than this card, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only special summon Blackwing Chris. I'm going to call him Chris Cross. Once per turn this way. Once per turn, this card cannot be destroyed by spell and trap effects. That's a nice little upside, the bottom part. It's a special summon. So, yeah. And it's got 1900 attack, so it's pretty formidable on its own as a normal summon. That's not bad. We got Blackwing Autoshi, the Squall. What has he got in his throat? Who knows? Dark level 1 tuner, 400 attack, 600 defense. If you control a Blackwing monster other than this card, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only do it once per turn. If this card is sent to the graveyard as a synchro material, you can target one monster in the field, change its battle position. The second half is okay, I guess. But the fact that it special summons is great. It's going to be probably kind of hard to balance out what to have on the field, or what to make the deck out of. A lot of special summoning from the hand from already having monsters on the field, but there's a lot of swarming here, so I'm looking at it like Obelisk the Tormentor right now with all this special summoning. So we got Blackwing Steam the Cloak. So it's a boiled chicken. It's a dark level 3, 800 attack, 1200 defense. Tuner, when this card leaves the field, when it's face up and leaves the field, you can bring out one token that's level 1 with 100 attack and defense. If this card is in the graveyard, you contribute one monster, special summon this card from the graveyard. You can only use this effect once per duel. If this card is special summoned this way, is used as a synchro material monster, all other monsters must be Blackwings. Pretty good card. All these Blackwings are really good, I think. So we got Assault Blackwing, Kunai, the Drizzy Drake. So we got Dark level 5, 21, 16. I'm just gonna like cut off saying attack and defense. So it's a 21, 16. It's you can special summon this card from your hand by tributing one Blackwing monster. It's special summon this way. It's treated as a tuner. You can target one Synchron monster you control, declare a level from 1 to 8, and it becomes that level until the end of the turn. So this card's pretty boss too. So let's think. If you get out a Synchron monster, you get this guy out, and then you can make your big, thick Blackwing, the level 12 guy. Because it needs, I think it needs, let's double check. Does it need 2? Let's see. Does it need 2? Oh, only Synchro monsters. Okay, never mind. I was going to say maybe it would be able to trigger that big, thick boy's secondary effect, but I guess not. Alright, so there we are there. I think we're going to stop right here for now. And then we'll cover the other half of the cards. So far right now, I have no idea about Blackwings. I think that what's already in this box to offer right now, just from the very top half, is amazing. A lot of special summoning, searching from the deck, awesome stuff. The Synchro monsters are really neat. They got amazing artwork, even though they're all like different versions of chicken sandwiches. I think they're awesome. So I'll see you guys on part 2 of this video. And peace, love, and chicken grease.